So Murray here is a 5-month-old, stop it, no sir, a 5-month-old Yorkie poo. And I just had him out to do a session. Oh, you look like he's struggling. Okay, that's our first lesson. When you're training a toy and he starts struggling to get over to that table, do not let him go. All right, you want to train him, you want to teach him that being calm and relaxed and weighted in your hands is going to get you to the next step. Okay? So now that he quieted down, I'm going to put my lead on him and then let him down. Good boy. All right, that's our first lesson for today. And in fact, it's so important because then you end up with a dog, with a tiny dog that's just struggling to do whatever he wants, right? And you don't want him to struggle. You want him to stay relaxed and not stressed through life. So we're gonna go again. Good. We're gonna approach the table. Looks like he sees my chicken. Good boy. Okay. All right. So I brought him out a second ago. So this is his third training session. We trained a little bit yesterday, but it wasn't a big session. I had him out a second ago and he really wasn't motivated to do training. I just fed him, so that might be my problem, but I went and I changed my treats. Hey, good. And I got some beef liver. See if he likes that even anymore. Okay, so what's going to be different from my last session is the leash, okay? So this lead is going to be different. It relaxes really easily. It's thicker around his neck. I'm still going to have it up around his neck, at least the beginning of my session, but you're going to notice me starting to relax it and asking him to elicit some of these things that I've been teaching without that lead being right there, but I'll still go to it if I don't get the response that I want. He needs to learn a correction, right? You want to keep your training positive and motivating, but especially with little dogs, you want to teach them how to understand when they're wrong and how to respond to the correction. All right, so I'm going to work on heel. Heel, come on, let's go. You're going to do that. So this is donkey, all right? So I'm going to keep my pressure on the lead. Come on, let's go. Good, until that one step, and then I'm going to reward him. All right, that is leash training 101. It works with baby puppies. It works with 5-year-old feral dogs. Just keep a little bit of pressure on that lead. The second they take one step, it relaxes and they get the treat. Good boy. Or no treat. Like a feral dog may not have been taking treats, but he'll figure it out that pressure gets released as soon as he takes that step. Good boy. Good. Hey, sit. All right, so you see my leash is relaxed, so I'm letting him make the choice to sit. Sit. Good. Good boy. All right. Heel. Good boy. Yeah, he's not quite making it to the end of the table. Good. Hey, hey, sit. Good boy. Sit. Sit. All right, he's not doing it, so I'm going to correct him. No. Sit. Good. Make sure he doesn't fall off the end of the table. That's why I have this lead here, and I'm going to be ready to come and catch him if I need to. Good boy. Good. So I'm going to work on stay. I'm going to get him a little closer to this side. Good. Sit. You going to do it? Sit. Good. I gave him a second chance because it looked like he wanted to. He was thinking about it. I think he had a little piece of beef stuck. So you notice this lead is going to be loose. The last session, when I tell him to stay, most of the time my hand's going to be up here to make it easier and also to get him back in a position if he moves. Now that he had a session, hey, good. I'm going to leave this lead loose. Stay. No. Sit. Stay. He doesn't like all my yapping. Hey. You got something stuck in your teeth? Good boy. Stay. Let's see if he'll... So my hand's going to stay right here to stay... No. Sit. Good. Stay. My hand's going to be right here just to give him a visual cue that he needs to stay still. But I'm going to get rid of that pretty soon. So my hand's going to stay here. Hey. Stay. So my hand's going to stay here as I add distance and movement. Do you have one stuck in your teeth? Good boy. But he's always going to get that reward when I come back. Good boy. Good boy. All right, let's go. Heel. Good. Yay. Come all the way to the end. Come on. Good. Sit. Sit. Nope. Sit. Good. Stay. Don't look at that. There you go. He looked at those treats. He looked right back. I love it. All right, heel. Come on. All right, I'm going to keep a close watch and nope, leave it. No, leave it. Good. If I say leave it, I might have to correct him, but if I say leave it and he looks up at me, he gets that reward. If you're watching my last video, I'm repeating myself, but reward never comes from the ground, especially with toys. All right. All he needs to do is pick up a tiny piece of gum, a piece of hot dog, an old burrito, just a tiny bit of something bad, and you could have some big problems with these guys. So you want to make sure, no, leave it. No, leave it. You want to make sure that you have a really strong leave it, and you have a really strong habit of keeping that head up. I'm nitpicky about what I train these dogs to do in the early stages, but it's a means to an end, and that's so that the dog builds healthy habits, like not picking up stuff off the ground that might put them in the hospital. It's especially true with the toy dogs. Good boy, stay. Good. All right, let's go. Heel. Good boy. Yay! Let's go. Heel. Sit. Sit. You can do it. What do you think it means? There you go. Stay. So I'm not going to jump to correcting the dog if I think he's thinking about it and I think he's processing it and he's really giving me some effort, right? I'll repeat, leave it. Good. You see, he's starting to get it. You're starting to get it. If I think he's processing it and he's showing me the effort of thinking about what I'm asking him to do, I'll go ahead and repeat the command. I don't want to correct him for giving me effort and for trying to figure out what that word means. Stay. All right, so for every fourth or fifth repetition, not yet, that's what we worked on yesterday. Sit. Sit. Good boy. We'll work on that in a minute. Good boy. Stay. Here. Come on. Here. Yay! Good boy. That's another example. If I think he's thinking about it, I'll go ahead and repeat the command and encourage him. Murphy, here. Murphy, here. Yay! Good boy. He's getting a little close to that edge. This might be our last session on the table since I'm giving him so much freedom. Heel. So now we're going to work on down. Murphy. Hey, leave it. No, leave it. We're going to work on down. He likes these beef livers. You got to be so careful with these toys. Sit. If you have one that's not food motivated, you got to have a method in your arsenal that doesn't involve food. You can't restrict food from them, or else you're going to give them some serious medical problems. Sit. It works with labs and other breeds and shepherds and stuff to get them hungry, but these guys, you cannot let them miss meals. All right, so for down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some slight downward pressure. Down. Good. All right, so the reason why I'm teaching it with pressure is that's what I want to teach. I want to teach, hey, when I put pressure on you, it's going to be like around the neck. When I put pressure on you, you go down. All right, you don't fight it, just trust me. That's why the down, hey, sit. That's why the down is so hard for a lot of dogs, is because, especially toy dogs, because the world is really huge and scary, and they don't trust you to be in that they don't trust you to ask them to be in that vulnerable position. Good. So I'm gonna have my food hidden. I don't like showing them food, so we'll get rid of that. Down. Just downward pressure. Down. Good. There we go. And he's gonna get the treat for having those elbows on the ground. So that's where what I've been working on, nitpicky about, like with the sit and with him jumping up. This is why. Hey, hey, leave it. Hey, no. Hey, good. The treat comes from me. Down. Good. It's a means. It all builds on itself. Okay, I'm teaching him how to take treats in a way that makes it easier to teach him everything else. Good. And now I can ask him to sit. Sit. Good boy. There you go. Had to use that lead to help him a little bit. Good. Hey, down. Just downward pressure. Good. There you go. Good boy. Sometimes you have to hold the dog down. Eventually the downward pressure is going to be with the collar. But I like teaching it this way with the little guys. Hey, easy. Leave it. Good. All right. Okay. Sit. Sit. No. Sit. No. Sit. Good. That's it. All right. So the last thing for him is going to be grooming. All right. You want to do grooming? You've done so well. I think we'll skip that for today. Good. But he's already very good. So when you pick up a toy dog, you want to make sure you have them under their head and pick them up like that. If the dog, I think we just saw that, if the dog struggles to be put down, hold them until they relax and then put them down. Good. All right. Even though he's not a show dog, he's a little Maltipoo. He still needs to learn how to be stacked. Nope. You see how he wants to pop back? So I'm going to put him back in position. Good. Good. Puppy should let you look at his teeth. No, don't do that. We can do it. Good. There you go. If he has trouble with it, you see he just balked a couple times. We do it make it a little bit easier. Good. All right. We look at the ears. Good. Tail underneath him. Good boy. Yeah, that's good for him today. I brought nail trimmers and a brush. You want to do that? We can do that. All right. So it's just the same. So you saw how when I inspected his teeth, he was a little uncomfortable with that. Good. Easy. No. Ooh, look, this is going to be your vise. It's okay. All right, so my thumb's going to be underneath the collar. You want to see what that is? Yeah, it's a little pin brush. You can see it. All right. What a lot of people don't realize about the poodle crosses is that grooming is just as important for those dogs as it is for an actual poodle. In fact, it's harder to groom the poodle crosses because sometimes the hair has this texture that makes it mat easily. His hair is pretty silky, but it doesn't really change until adolescence, and it'll usually start changing around by the tail and stuff. So I'm gonna have my thumb is underneath his collar, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just lightly going over him, okay, and holding him still and letting him know, hey, you don't need to fuss. Please don't fuss. You saw I corrected him for that, but also there's no reason to because it's not a big deal. So I'll switch sides. My thumb is underneath the collar again. Good. It's all right. Look, see, he wants to fuss again. That's okay. Good. You can see it. You want to see it? Good. And that's all we need to do is just do a little bit. Good. It's a pin brush. It's a really soft pin brush. It's a Chris Christensen, the super soft one for puppies, and for like just separating hairs to do feet and ears and stuff. No, you have to let me do your face. Good, right on top of the head. I'm not going to do around the eyes and stuff today. We'll work up to that. Good. I'm glad we worked on this since you're a little fussy about it. Good. All right, that's good for you. All right, what a good session. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed watching a training session with Murphy. I'm really proud of how he's doing. He's coming along.